The Institute is my life. I hope it'll be yours too. Hey there.
You are authorized to access my stock of supplies.
Let's see what you have. The Institute's a big place. It might take a while to learn where everything is.
Good evening.
I'm glad to see you return safely. I know the task was difficult, but I needed you to see firsthand how dangerous a rogue synth can be.
I don't care about who's to blame. I just wanted to stop a killer.
Yes, of course. Your pragmatism is admirable. It does matter, though. If everyone sees the Institute as a villain, dangerous forces could align against us. If we can put the lie to such assumptions, we diminish that threat. But enough about that. The task is done, and you've returned our synth safely to us. I couldn't have hoped for a better outcome. Well done. While you were away, I had quarters prepared for you. You'll find all the basic necessities, as well as a generous stock of arms and equipment. Go and have a look. I think you'll be quite pleased.
Your new quarters are here, ma'am. When you're finished here, ma'am, Father wants to see you.
Excuse me.
A successful mission on all counts, ma'am.
Hello, Mother. Tell me, what would you do when someone has stolen from you?
After everything I've been through to find you, I think you already know.
I'm sorry, Mother. Of course, you're right. The group that calls themselves the Railroad have acquired several synths from the Institute. Synths that had gone missing in recent months. They no doubt mean to free these synths, in their delusion that synths are somehow sentient beings. You've been in contact with the Railroad, so you're aware of their misguided beliefs.
They're crazy, thinking machines are alive.
Agreed. However noble they may believe themselves to be, they are thieves. Usually they are a minor nuisance, but lately they have become more emboldened. I'm afraid we've reached a point where a response is necessary. We have learned the current location of these synths, and need to reacquire them before the Railroad can hide them.
Where are the synths located?
A small settlement at the old Bunker Hill Monument. But it's important that we act on this soon, before the Railroad has any indication we've tracked them. We also don't want the Brotherhood of Steel getting wind of the presence of the synths. That would only complicate matters.
Is it just me, or will I have backup?
A Corsair will be waiting for you outside Bunker Hill. You'll have support should you need it. But we want to keep this small.
Glad to have you aboard. Your minigun should be loaded and ready to fire. Good shooting, ma'am. Prepare for landing. Touchdown could be a little rough.
Mom runs the surgery, so you better be nice to me.
Too many miles on the road.
You have some sort of medical problem here, or are you just yanking my chain?
I need some supplies, Doctor.
I got loads of stim packs, chems, you name it.
Huh?
Fine place to sleep right here. Reasonable rate.
Fine. Here's your caps.
Stockton snores. You've been warned.
I run 3 caravans that travel throughout
I'm telling
the
you,
Commonwealth.
there's no such thing as junk. You know how to fix something up? Anything's valuable.
That right?
Yeah.
Sign of 'em now.
I've machined up scopes out of Nuka-Cola bottles, put together landmines from lunch boxes. Heck, I even made armor out of paper clips once.
Okay, now you're feeding me bull, Deb. You can't make armor out of paper clips.
Well, no, you can't, but you sure as hell can stitch together metal plates with them. Wire is wire.
Sean?
You know, in all my years, I've never set foot outside the Institute. Not once. Since the day they brought me here. I've never had a reason. But now, this just confirms the truth I've always known. The Commonwealth is dead. There's no future here. The only hope for humanity lies below.
It wasn't always like this. It used to be different.
I can only imagine. Standing here, I'm reminded of how fortunate I am that I was spared a life in this wasteland. I know that to you, I was kidnapped from that vault. In truth, the Institute rescued me. Both of us, really.
They left me on ice. For 60 years.
They did. And for good reason. I was the perfect candidate. An infant with uncorrupted DNA. But if something were to go wrong, if I died, well, the Institute realized a contingency plan was prudent. Another source of pre-war DNA, preferably related to their primary subject. It only made sense that my parents should fill that role. So you were kept alive and safe within the vault. I'll admit, when I had you released from Vault 111, I had no expectations that you'd survive out here in all this. To not only do so, but manage to find me. To infiltrate the Institute itself. Extraordinary.
Your unconditional love is overwhelming. I think I need a moment.
I can accept that you're offended. You must understand, though. I have had no love to feel. We have been strangers until now, you and I. Certainly it was no longer necessary to keep you suspended. Well, I suppose I wanted to see what would happen. An experiment of sorts. Would the Commonwealth corrupt you, as it has everything else? Would you even survive? Perhaps most curious to me, would you, after all this time, attempt to find me? And now I know the answer.
This is science to you. It's pathetic. All of it.
I'm sorry you see it that way. Perhaps in time you'll see it differently. Soon, I hope. I hope you'll understand. Everything I've done has been for the future. A future which I hope is not in jeopardy after recent events. Bunker Hill did not go well for us. Would you care to explain what happened?
We were totally ambushed. They were waiting for us.
You can imagine that I find that very hard to believe, given that all the intelligence leading up to this indicated we'd taken them by surprise. Bunker Hill was to cement your place as a valuable asset to the Institute. It will now only raise suspicions. And to see the Brotherhood of Steel involved in this? They had no way of knowing what was going on. I will refrain from sharing the outcome with the Directorate for the moment. Things are already in motion that this would only derail. Speaking of which, it's time for you to become more involved in the future of the Institute. I'd like you to join me inside. The Directorate is meeting, and you should be there. I'll be waiting. I've seen enough. It's time to go back in. Good, we're all here. I think it's time we begin.
Sir, excuse me, but what exactly is she doing here?
I will address that issue.
Doctor, whatever
But
it
there
is,
are
it'll
other
have to
subjects
wait.
that require our attention first. The level of unrest in the Commonwealth continues to rise, as we're all aware. Your report.
All Institute facilities remain completely secure with the exception of one notable breach. Otherwise, internally, things are as tight as they've ever been. Dr. Ao has been keeping an eye on things topside.
Yes, Watchers show no additional threats beyond those previously identified. Boston International Airport remains occupied, with Brotherhood presence noted at several other points throughout the Commonwealth. Intelligence suggests that this railroad continues to operate and is becoming more ambitious. SRB agents are monitoring all known situations, sir.
Very good, thank you. It's clear that our safety needs to be the primary concern going forward. To that end, where are we on Phase 3?
Sir, are you sure this is the time to be discussing it? Given, well, considering all parties present?
Ah, yes, that's true. Have you heard anything about Phase 3?
I have no idea what that is.
I'll admit I'm relieved. It's intended to be something of a classified project, which I'm sure means everyone already knows about it. Power is, as I'm sure you've seen above ground, a very valuable commodity. I'm not talking about some abstract concept of control. I mean real, tangible power. The kind that keeps the lights on. With every advance the Institute makes, our need for raw power increases. Many compromises and sacrifices have been made over the years to allow progress to continue.
Right. Such hard times down here.
I would never disagree that life in the Institute is better than above ground. We have done much to ensure it. Now, we take things even further. Phase 3 is simply the activation of a nuclear reactor that can provide enough power to the Institute now and forever.